Hello, Ron from RV TV. In this video, we're going to demonstrate the Great Annexe wall kit fitting to a Fiamma F45 wind-out awning on a Jayco Swan camper trailer. And this particular option is really handy if you're needing to get an Annexe wall kit that's proper, that's not going to fail, it's going to stand up to all weather conditions. We do that particularly well here, and we're going to now demonstrate how that all works. If you're new to this channel, we do everything caravan and campers here on this channel. So if you're interested in caravans and campers, you need to consider subscribing to our channel because we are always putting out content that you no doubt will enjoy watching, I hope. Either way, we're going to jump straight into this one, how to set up a Great Annexe on a Fiamma wind-out awning. Okay, so after you've set your awning out, and you've wound it all down and pegged the legs down, it's now time to attach the Great Annexe to the Fiamma. And we do that utilising what we believe is the best way to go, which is called an anti-flap kit. And this is basically a two-piece rafter that comes together. It has a clamping function that is now going to grab the edge of this fabric and locate it down. So as this awning is a free sail awning, meaning there's no direct structure on the edge of the fabric, when the wind picks up, this thing can just bang, 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 bang. This kit grabs the edge, clamps it down to itself, so then that edge is now a complete rafter, and they're very easy to use. So we're simply just going to bring the two halves together. We've mounted a clip up in the top of the container. We just sit onto the clip, lifts straight up, and the edge of the fabric is now going to fall under that clamp and rest itself into the unit. We lock it up in the middle, so now that can't come back out of the holes. And then as we bring this handle down, you'll notice that clamp is starting to come down and really grips the edge of that material and clamps the edge of it. So we now get a complete clamping effect down the side, and now the edge of that awning is completely solid. So that on its own is such a massive improvement to the overall structure of the awning when you add those on both ends. Okay, so that's the anti-flap kit. Now these anti-flap kits also don't have the infrastructure to feed the Annexe walls off, which we'll show you next. So once our anti-flap kits are fitted, the next step that we like to do here at Great Annexes is to give the Fiamma's legs more support. Now, obviously with the storms and heavy wind conditions and weather we can get in Australia, it can be quite a big punch of pressure in one event and quickly coming about very quickly. So we like to always use more sturdier corner poles with the Annexe kits. And you can also use this just by using the awning only. But essentially what we're doing is that because these legs of the Fiamma aren't as thick and extruded as we'd like them, we like just to add in some additional corner poles. And all we've done is just drilled a hole into the underside of the lip, which just allows us to insert a pole to now give us that additional structure. And that itself, now in conjunction with the anti-flap kit, this awning has just been given like extra bracing to take on that wind load and weather load. This doesn't make it a silver bullet, but it's going to have such a higher threshold than what it would be if it wasn't there. So we slide those in straight into the hole. We have a very easy cam clip system on the poles. That means no more wing nuts and no more twist locks. It just cams shut very, very quickly and easily, and it's so strong and it never comes off. So now we've just supported the corner. This will also become a structure for the Annexe walls when they zip together in this corner to come and Velcro onto these poles and give it support. So now we have all the structural poles in place. It's time to actually put the physical walls and skirt on the awning itself. So I always start with the wind skirt, because nice and easy, the studs are all being fitted there, ready to go. And essentially, it's just a matter of starting around your step and clipping these onto the clips. Okay, so that's our windscreen press started on. We'll now go and put the Velcro returns, and this is the little flaps, little tails that we put up the sail track. That just, instead of feeding the whole wall up the track, we put little tails in, so check it out. Okay, so when we put these on, we slide them straight into the track, and then we actually sew a flap that Velcro's undone. And that we slide around that razor bar. And it comes back onto itself. And that gives us the structure and support we need around that razor bar to handle the wind conditions once the wall gets loaded. So they're all custom made. This flap here doesn't go to waste. We will use that now onto the awning, onto the annex wall itself to help seal up that gap there. Okay, so now we've got the pole structure, the wind skirt, and the Velcro tails, or returns as we call them, in place. It's now time to put our walls on. Now don't forget, with the walls, they're all individual pieces. So you can easily put each section up, but you can also use it in whatever configuration that you might need. So for instance, we go away at Easter time and we camp by a river. So the river view is directly in front of us, and we generally will put the two end walls on to give us some protection and privacy on both sides, but give us the straight open view. So use your annex in whatever configuration to suit where you're at. For now, we're going to slide the long wall into the Fiamma, and this is very easy. So with Great Annexes, we sew a specific spline onto this awning, or this annex wall, sorry, to make it very easy for you to be able to slide it into the spare groove. So on the awning, you'll notice there's two tracks available to slide into. We're going to slide into the bottom one and drop the annex off that, and it's just done like this. Now it's the perfect size to fit into the track, so you're not fighting anything. Once your long side wall's on, it's now time to put the end wall on. And the end wall, as I mentioned earlier, is going to fit into the available grooves of this anti-flap kit. Mate, it's very much the same process as sliding the front in, just off the anti-flap kit this time. So we have two grooves on the anti-flap kit available to feed into. We're going to use the top one because the bottom one then can be available for a porch. And because that spline that we use is purpose made, it slips very easily. That's one. And then all we do here is we're pulling and pushing at the same time to help get that up there. And as you can see here, we've got some Velcro. Going to meet this Velcro. And that's going to help seal the wall back to the camper. And the wind skirt itself is also going to turn the corner and Velcro on as well. Bring our flaps to the inside. Line that up as best you can for now. Make sure your flaps come in, so if you've got any flooring, it all comes down, sits on that flap. And therefore we've got our annex wall on the anti-flap kit coming down, now sealed against the van. And then this corner here, we just run a zipper. The zipper just comes together like it would on your jacket. and just seals that corner up. Once that one's on, we just got one more to do. Okay. Okay, so we now utilise these poles, as mentioned earlier, to give the annex walls something to grip onto. So we simply wrap our Velcros straight around this leg. Now that's ready for all types of wind and rain that might get thrown at you, especially if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, depending on which model you order from us, our designer kit, which this one is, comes standard with the Porch. So the Porch itself just feeds straight off the anti-flap kit. Again, using that nice and easy to use slippery spline that we sew onto the top. It just simply feeds into the bottom of the anti-flap kit. Nice and easy, straight down to the front. Now, on the underside of this Porch is a piece of Velcro, and on the top of the wall is another piece of Velcro, and that will help everything stay there once it's up. Okay, so given the fact that we're inside a concrete shed with floor, we can't get the proper tension through it, but nonetheless, the Porch is always available, or part of the kit on the designer. So now, with a couple of flaps left to do and roll up, your annex is fitted. Nice and neat, nice and tidy. The Fiamma takes it all very well, feeds in beautifully, but the unit itself, because we don't muck around with cheap bits and pieces, is a strong option, basically doubling the size of your living space. So this is a great designer annex onto a F45 awning for your camper. We can do other variations of rooms, so if you're interested in exploring what we can do for you, please get to our website. If you found this useful today, it would really help us a lot if you hit a like for us, share it out to your friends, consider subscribing to our channel. But until next time, safe caravanning.